After the pajama game and damn Yankees, Hal Prince was a successful young whippersnapper of a producer on his way. One of the first properties he went after was The Last Resorts. In 1956, he bought the rights to this book, which was basically a social study satirizing hotel life. It was about a Midwestern newspaper reporter who was hired to cover the Duke and Duchess of Windsor's visit to Florida. The reporter fell in love with the rich daughter of the family hosting the royals.
Prince hired Gene Kerr to create a witty satirical musical from this book. He had been a stage manager on Touch and Go, a review that she had written with her husband, critic Walter Kerr, in 1949, and she seemed the perfect fit for this material, The Last Resorts. As Sondheim wrote in his book, Look, I Made a Hat, I am not doing a Sondheim impression, don't even think about it. The arrangement made it a very homey Hal Prince affair, and he shored it up by asking me, his ambitious pal, that's actually what it says pal, how cool is that, to audition for the Kerrs, which I was happy to do. Although I was at work on West Side Story, there you go, nothing I had written yet had breached the walls of Broadway, and I had liked Touch and Go a lot. So Saturday night, score in hand, I nervously but eagerly set out to audition for them. They lived in a mildly forbidding castle-like structure in Westchester, and they turned out to be just as forbidding as their surroundings. I auditioned for them in a room that had all of the coziness and size of an armory. Jean sat in a tall armchair and rarely moved except to cross and uncross her legs. She was a tall woman, and even seated, seemed to tower over her husband Walter, who was probably about 5'3". Apart from that, I remember absolutely nothing, except that every few minutes, Jean, a chain smoker, would bark in a murmur, "Butt me, Walter!" And Walter would dutifully give her a cigarette and light it for her.
It's like Beer Me from The Office.
That's the Kerrs. You can't see their children because I didn't buy this image from Getty Images, I'm sorry, but you know, you can see the Kerrs.
We're on a budget. Sondheim wrote 3 songs for the project: Pour le Sport, High Life, and I Wouldn't Change a Thing. Pour le Sport later appeared in the review Marry Me a Little. The project, however, never got beyond a first draft. The Kerrs agreed to work with Sondheim, but they didn't really like his songs. Walter Kerr would make this very clear in his future reviews. And how did...
Guys, that's the thing about this, is that like every single one of these shows got some great reviews and some terrible reviews, as do all of the shows that run forever. So it's really like, go and make up your own fucking mind, you know? There we go. I haven't even drank anything.
And Hal didn't love Jean's first draft, but she refused to make any major changes to the script because she was smoking. So Prince said about the experience, it was just a disagreement among creators. But the thing that is larger about all of this is that until Steve broke through, there was great reluctance to appreciate the nature of his talent.
The song I Wouldn't Change a Thing, which you can see, Sondheim writing it right there, was written for the wealthy young daughter who was falling in love with the reporter character. 3 years later, Sondheim began work on a television musical called Happily Ever After with Joe Stein. It was to be about 2 married couples and the fantasies and tensions that accompanied their visits to one another. This song was also part of that project, which was abandoned as well. Here to sing I Wouldn't Change a Thing, which has the special distinction of being a song from 2 obscure, abandoned Sondheim projects, is the fabulous Brynn O'Malley.
Can I tell a story first about how I first met Jennifer Ashley Tepper? It's not really relevant to this, but just the fact that she's here. Also, I feel like if you were drinking, you would have given us a Sondheim impression. I know you have one. Okay, so this was doing Sunday in the Park with George, so it would have been like 2008, and we had all got, it was fate that I'd even gone below 54th Street to have a drink, was heading back uptown on the east side of 8th Avenue, 2 o'clock in the morning, and you know the little signs on the side of the telephone booths? We still have those. And they'll do like, you know, like the signs for musicals and stuff. And so this was a time when every single one in the city had a poster for Mamma Mia. And it was the one with like the 2 of them like holding hands, like wearing backpacks and looking all tan and well paid. So the poster said like, It's something like America's greatest, or the greatest musical of all time. And then it said, Mamma Mia.
It said like, now playing at the Winter Garden, the greatest musical of all time.
That's right, the greatest, now playing at the Winter Garden, the greatest musical of all time, Mamma Mia. And someone had taken, it looked like a piece of notebook paper, I don't even know what it was, and wrote on it, duct taped it to the sign over the words Mamma Mia, Follies. I had never met this person, I didn't know who she was, I saw the sign, I think I screamed, and then I like doubled over, and then I was like laughing, and then I think I started to cry a little bit, I had a couple in me. And I took my phone, I was like, I have to find out who this person is because clearly I know them. And if I don't, we're going to be best friends. Like, only in Manhattan, only on that block could somebody do that and somebody not take it down and have somebody else get it. So I took a picture of it and I posted it on Facebook and I was like, someone get to the bottom of this. Whoever this person is, I must find out. And I posted it so in the middle of the night. And by like the next morning, it like 500 people had liked it. Everybody was commenting on it, and somebody was like, I know who this is. I will track her down. And then she showed up on the thread. It was like, hi, I'm Jennifer Tepper.
I'm really, really glad that you told that story. I think it fits the spirit of the evening perfectly.
I have never lost an ounce of respect for you since then. You're one of my favorite people in the world just because of that. Were you drunk when you did that, or was that a completely sober moment?
And now she's wanted by the Midtown West police.
Okay, I'm listening now. Okay. One man says he'll be my slave. This man doesn't even shave. One man dresses like a prince, and this one appears in a hat that's squashed. President-elect of the great unwashed. I say to myself, Shakuna Songo. But this one, he's a bum, he's a clown, with his socks hanging down, with his hair taking wing, and I wouldn't change a thing. Yellow shirt, red cravat, orange coat, purple hat, slightly green college ring, and I wouldn't change a thing. He's a walking neon sign in a state of disrepair, but his suit suits me just fine, 'cause I know he's inside it somewhere. Does he look rather gay? Let him stay just that way. Does he look rather bright? Well, I wouldn't change the sight, 'cause I love the way he looked at me tonight. Oh, no, Brummel is my beau, your Palm Beach's fashion king. Once you look at him, you'll know he's a many-splendored thing. He may not be awfully Brooks or as stylish as the Duke, but for me he has the looks of the 10th best-dressed man in Dubuque. Clothes don't make the man, Lord knows, but I wouldn't be surprised if that man made those clothes. So his clothes are impressed. I don't care how he's dressed. Let him run and leave him be. Well, there's one change I would like to see. Let him change from a bum to a bum who's in love with me.
But me, Walter.